Hello lovely friends, here's a sneak peek of some insane cells created by the swipe technique and a few secret hints and tips here and there. Here's the results of what I've been experimenting with this week, and thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to all my subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed and you're enjoying my videos, please do so. I love having you on my journey with me. And thank you so much to my members, my lovely members, Jill, Linda and Silver Dove. So today is another Talent Tuesday where my wonderful friend Kim and I do whatever we fancy, and I put the link to her video in my description and pinned comments below. So today we've got a fluid art swipe technique, and I'm showing you how to get these insane cells with only 3 colours. So here are the 3 colours. We've got 2 reds and a gold, and I'm going to show you the base there, which is white. And I have a secret little recipe that I use in a lot of my videos. Now today all 3 colours have 2 drops of silicone oil in them. It's Pebbio silicone oil, and it's really affordable. So if you're in the UK or anywhere in the world, you can get a Pebbio silicone oil, and it works a treat. So I've marked up the back of my coasters today, and I've got 2 coasters with only these 3 colours on them, and my heat gun is one of the magical things that helps to enhance and create those beautiful and really crazy cells. So I'm using a white base, and the white base is acrylic paint from The Works. It's Crawford Black. If you're in the UK and you want to create some beautiful art, some fluid art, I really do recommend it. It's a fantastic acrylic paint. And I add Liquitex pouring medium to it and water. I'm going to put a link to how I mix my paints in the description and the link and the comments below, so you can show that. It's a lot more detail in those videos. So you can see how I'm layering my paint. I'm doing it intuitively, but I only have 3 colours, and so it's very easy. You can literally layer them in any way that you like. And that there is the secret ingredient to create the peacock cells, which is a Shelley art formula, and it's also Australian Floetrol mixed with Amsterdam white, titanium white paint. And I use that formula to create the peacock cells every time I do. And along with the 1 drop of silicone in the 2 reds and the gold, that's what creates these insane cells all over the coaster. I've just literally shown a few for my friends and family, these 2 coasters, and I've had some orders for them, so I'm so pleased because they are quite Christmassy colours, but they're quite classical colours as well when you've got red and white and gold. So hopefully they'll make some lovely gifts for people. So you can see I'm using my palette knife there just to swipe through with my Australian Floetrol. Now when I used the heat gun initially, you could see some cells appearing, and that's the silicone at work in the colours. And when I used the white just there, that was pure titanium white and Australian Floetrol. Now I'm just doing an experiment here, just using my gold as a swipe, and you can see there's not as many cells that come through, so I'm using the white again to create those cells. Now if you use different golds like Tri-Art, there are so many different types of other paints that you can use to create cells, but I'm not going to complicate things today. I'm just keeping with what I'm doing. So you can see using the heat gun there has made some of the cells come up in the gold, but because I swiped through the gold with a palette knife, you can see they're bigger cells, and that's created by the silicone. So to keep things simple, the smaller peacock cells, which peacock cells are when you have 2 or 3 colours within a cell, and they tend to be smaller and more bean shaped. That's the Australian Floetrol and the Amsterdam white combination working together. And when you see the larger cells, they are created by the silicone, and so I like to combine the 2 in some of my pieces, especially when it comes to coasters. I think it works really well. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are, and what you think about this very simple colour palette. So when you're using a fluid art technique like the swipe technique, as I am today, you can see that I'm very simply just using a palette knife, swiping through the colours and going on the surface of the colour to create the cells. I'm also enhancing the cells by using the blowtorch, and then the rest is just stretching the paint out by tilting the coaster to one side very slowly, using my hand to very gently stretch the paint off the edge if it needs to, but I'm just being really patient with the cells, and then I turn it round and I then tilt from the other angle, and then I leave to dry. And just before I leave to dry, I always use the blowtorch once more, just very, very gently, about 4 or 5 inches above the coaster, so as not to scorch the paint. And then that also brings the cells up. So I'll leave you now with some lovely relaxing music as we finish off this coaster and go on to the second coaster. And I hope you're enjoying this really simple palette with just the 3 colours and the swipe technique. It's a really easy technique for beginners, but it's also such a satisfying technique for when you're doing functional art like these coasters here. I will see you shortly. Enjoy this second coaster. So I'm coming towards the end now of creating the second coaster, and I've really enjoyed this simple colour palette, just using 3 colours, 2 reds and 1 gold on a white base is just such a lovely combination, and I'm just really enjoying that gold going through it. And you can use as much gold, white or red as you like. So here's the results, the wet results, and the dried results are in the thumbnail, as you can see, with a couple of mugs there. So I hope you've enjoyed creating these coasters today. Let me know if you'd like to give it a go and what you think of the cells. Are they insane? Are they crazy? I think they are. I love cells popping in fluid art. It's one of the things I enjoy most about it. So thank you so much for being here today. Let's go and see what the amazing Kim from Kim's Art Alchemy is doing. The link to her wonderful creation will be in the description and pinned comments below. And I'll also put that link I promised you to show you how I mix my paints for beginners. So don't forget, your art is a piece of you. Keep shining, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for being here today on this journey with me. Take care now. Bye.